Great seeing you here again in this new video. In this video, I'm going to look at the effects of level of effort activities on earned value. When we look at the level of effort activities, we want to understand what happens when we include them into the EVM approach. When we look at EVM, when we look at earned value should not measure level of effort activities. Earned value is only about measuring the value created by the creation of deliverables. How will we deal with level of effort activities when we use earned value management? We look at an example of earned value management, of earned value and level of effort activities. Then we have a first case where the level of effort costs decrease, and a second case where the level of effort costs increase. And we will have some conclusions about these different evaluations and level of effort activities in general. First of all, we want to talk about earned value and the fact that it doesn't measure level of effort activities. When we look at EVM, we are measuring the value we earned of the completed deliverable. And what we are going to do is that information we are going to extrapolate that performance. We will look at the past performance and we will assume that the future performance, for example, would be the same as the past performance, and then we extrapolate. When we would extrapolate level of effort costs, this will have a direct effect on the extrapolation. In some cases, it may improve the situation or give a lower estimate than what we expected, or we may have a higher estimate, higher than we expected. And of course, neither one of them is correct. We should have a correct estimate about the project. What will be the effect of the deliverables, the delays, the costs, the increased cost on the totality of our project. We want to look at the deliverables, so we will only consider the deliverables. We take out the level of effort activities and the costs, and then we extrapolate. If we would not do that, the results about performance and, for example, our estimate how much the project will cost at the end of the project, what will be the final cost that we may expect. It may be overestimated, it may be too high or too low. And in both cases, it's not really what it should be. If it's too high and it should be lower, we may decide to kill the project when it's not really necessary. When it's too low, we may continue with the project where we would be normally in a situation where the budget or where the cost increased so much that the project is not profitable anymore. So what should we do with the level of effort activities? When we look at the earned value management, the principles, here we look at the time and cost to create the deliverables. And what we do with that is we extrapolate this information to find the cost at completion of the project. We can also find the expected end time of the project. Both things are possible, but we are here at this moment thinking more about costs than about the schedule. When we look at the LOA activities and when we include them in the earned value management, this will have a direct impact on the final results. And it will also have an impact on the decisions we will make later. We do EVM because we want to understand how the project is performing, where the project is going to, and we will make decisions based on that information. So when we want to use earned value management, we should not include level of effort, costs and activities into the estimations of the actual cost and the earned value. Basically, it will be part of the actual cost. The earned value is calculated with the original earned value parameters or earned value estimates that we included in the project estimation during planning. So we also have to take them out of the earned value parameters to ensure that we are dealing with the correct information. The element what is important here is that all earned value management should be done without the level of effort costs, and later when we finish the project, when we finish the evaluation and we determined all the different parameters, at that moment we can add those costs again to obtain the total cost of the project. Let's have a small example, a short example of earned value and level of effort. When we have a project review where we have a planned value of 290k, an earned value of 255k, and an actual cost of 275k. We have level of effort activities, for example, project management and other supporting activities, and they were estimated at 45k. We can add those to the planned value, so we find the new planned value including the level of effort is 45k. When we look at the level of effort activities as planned, we have an earned value of 300k and an actual cost of 320k. So in that case, the level of effort activities were completed the way we planned them originally. And what we see is that both cases, we see that the project is late and over budget. We didn't have any increase or decrease of the level of effort cost, which basically do not influence what we are measuring. So in this case, we don't really have a problem. But what happens when the level of effort costs decrease? And this is case 1. We reduce the level of effort activities, and the effort or the estimate is now 25k. So the level of effort activities were reduced with 20k, and basically what we are looking at, we see that the earned value is still 300k because we are still counting everything inclusive all those level of effort activities. We put that in the plan value, so the value that we earn is including that level of effort activities. We see basically that the actual cost now is equal to 300k. We also find out in this case that the earned value is equal to the actual cost. So our project is performing financially correct. We're on budget. But in our previous estimation, we looked at the fact, or we had the fact, that the earned value was smaller than the actual cost. So we were basically over budget. And the conclusion that we can draw here is that the earned value is measured against the original estimate, but the actual cost decreased. And because we reduced the level of effort activity, the project management, for example, we now have the idea of the impression that the project is on budget, but it is not. Deliverables were not created at the estimated cost. So we already have to see, or we can see here, that we already have a problem. Our conclusion related to earned value management, including the level of effort activities, gives us an idea that we have basically a good project. We don't expect any cost overruns. So you will see at the end of the project that something is wrong, because you will have those cost overruns, and that can be an issue because you want to know, is my project performing well? And am I still making a profit, yes or no? We will look at that later on in this course when we are going to see what's happening with the profitability of the project when certain things happen. A second element is the fact when the level of effort costs increase. So we are going in the other direction. So now we have the second case. Now we have, instead of 45k, we have 60k. And what we see that the earned value is now 300k. The actual cost is increased with 35. We have the 60k, so we find 335k. And what we see that the EV minus the AC decreases. So we still have the original earned value, but the actual cost is now higher. And we look at again that we are measuring the EV against the original estimate, but the actual cost increased, which leads to the conclusion that the project's cost position is worse than before, which may lead to the conclusion to kill the project, even when it wouldn't be necessary, because we are now overestimating the actual cost. We are underestimating the financial performance. Of course, we can make some conclusions and some summary here. We basically identified two cases or three cases. We said one, the level of effort costs are basically the same. Then we said the level of effort costs are less. And finally, case two, level of effort costs are higher. So when we look at these situations, that we see that depending on the situation of the level of effort cost, that there can be a positive or a negative effect on the actual cost, and we may take the wrong conclusion. We may decide to continue with the project where the project is not performing financially well, or we can decide to stop the project even when it is performing financially well. Now, when we deal with earned value management, the best thing to do is to exclude the level of effort costs from the project when we are extrapolating and later adding them to the costs that we found after extrapolation. We look at the progress and the cost positions of the project. We must evaluate them without including the level of effort cost. So that's very important when we are dealing with earned value management, to deal with level of effort costs in the proper way. So that's it for this video. I thank you very much. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in our next video. Bye bye.